Hey all you cool cats and kittens, it's Carole Baskin from Big Cat Rescue, and at bigcatrescue.org/news we list all of the news out there. And you guys may have heard a few days ago about a serval that escaped in Georgia, ended up in some woman's bed. I don't even know how that happened. Nobody seems to know how that happened. But in their panic, they let the cat out, thinking maybe it was a bobcat or a native cat, and then they were like, I don't know. Well, turns out that poor thing has finally been rescued, and then there was some talk about it going back to its owner, which would be horrible because Georgia doesn't even allow that kind of stupidity. And so thankfully I'm hearing that it's going to go to a sanctuary, and I'm really hoping it's a GFAST accredited sanctuary, one of the good guys that can give it a home for life. It won't be coming here to Big Cat Rescue. For all of you who are now asking, will it come to Big Cat Rescue? No, it won't be coming here, but I'm hoping it'll go to a GFAST accredited sanctuary. And then Japan, I love these people. They have this giant 3D Shinjuku cat, and it has taken over one of their largest billboards. They have this big 3D billboard where they do all kinds of really cool things, like water sloshing around in a tank looking like waves, and now they've got this cat. I love it, love it. It's the future. Magnificent bobcat spotted chilling in the Hudson Valley in a backyard. That's cool. Don't see that every day. There's also been a cat that everybody thinks it's a bobcat, maybe a Carole, that has been spotted near the Thackerville farm. That's where Jeff Lowe had moved the cats from GW Zoo. And unfortunately, nobody has been able to pinpoint whether or not any of his bobcats or Caroles are missing, and whether or not what was seen was a bobcat or a Carole. It was the right color for either of those, given how blurry the picture was and how distant, but we don't know at this point what is happening there. I think there is already a motion by the Department of Justice to get the rest of the animals out of there. It just seems to be taking a ridiculously long time, as most of these legal cases do. This says, watch cheetah attacks Belgian volunteer in South African wildlife facility. I did not tune in to watch that, but apparently you can. There was a really good article by this group called Roadside Zoo News, and it's called USDA Inspects Non-Existent Shell Corporation Related to Tiger Creek Animal Sanctuary. So apparently they've got several different names, and they've got USDA inspection reports for these names that are registered to places that aren't the place in Texas, and yet they have the identical census. So it seems to me that an awful lot of these people will take out multiple names in order to hide who they are. And until somebody like Roadside Zoo News does a article, the public doesn't know that that sort of thing happens. So you cannot rely on your government agency to be looking into this and stopping it. You need some kind of whistleblower on the outside putting pressure to make that stop. And speaking of which, I got an email today that I sent on to USDA from somebody saying they had already contacted USDA and let them know, but nothing was happening about it. And that was Marcus Cook, who lost his license years ago, and his girlfriend lost her license, and then they were working under some guy by the name of Michael Todd, and he lost his license. And recently, I think the girlfriend got in trouble with the law because she was still exhibiting tigers and using Michael Todd's name, I believe, even though that license had expired. And so this was all about how they've got two of the tigers, brother and a sister, white tigers, living together, which is going to result in inbreeding if they're not fixed, and I can't believe that they would fix them, at some freaking petting zoo in Texas. And so I sent it to USDA again saying, look, this is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. You need to just stop this now. Hopefully they will. It looks like recently there's been more enforcement than we've seen in decades, so I'm really hopeful that this is finally going to bring all of that animal abuse to an end. The CPW Lion Management aims for stability in numbers in western Colorado. Study how a large cat deity helps people to share space with leopards in India. That should be interesting. Orange County mountain lion shot and killed. Investigation underway. That's a shame. Arizona's last ocelot faces a life in isolation. Oh, poor little Jefe. I think that means boss. Yeah, says he's cut off from his family because of the Trump border wall. SIU student wildlife biologist researches how coyotes and bobcats travel impact ecosystems. and how they run into each other out there, which is how we ended up with little Nakoa. Owner of Surfel in Georgia must give up the cat. That article's there. So if you come to bigcatrescue.org/news, click on any of the pictures or the links, it'll take you to the stories. And then I have a coordinator report from Stephanie Chaser. This is from yesterday. And she says, I want to thank you all who came in yesterday and braved Elsa, letting it go all morning. Your hard work and dedication was appreciated. The day started out rainy, but we persevered. MJ, Mary, Jerome, Mary Schubert, Karma Herworth, Fred Pagan, Taylor Feeden, Jordan Elaine, Nisha Prima, Emma Dallas, Riley Gardner, Megan Ruda, and myself took care of feeding and cleaning. There was a meat delivery in the afternoon. That's always a lot of boxes to carry. And it says, we have the best volunteers. Stephanie, I absolutely agree with you. We do have the very best volunteers. And I also have one from the day before from Lauren Buckingham saying, thank you to everyone that came out today. We were very fortunate to avoid rain and get everything done so that we could be home before the storm. Fred started the day with AM meds and supplements. Jordan, Susan, Taylor, Emma, Fred, Nisha, Barbara, and I took care of feeding. Melissa and Catherine joined us for cleaning. Ryan did a stick run during the feeding and then did food prep before lunch. Jordan went with Victor to train on the rehab kids. We took an early lunch and then everyone was given time for operant and enrichment. The interns and Fred spent the afternoon addressing appeal letters. Fred did PM supplements and Nisha did PM meds. That's all from me. Stay safe tonight. Yes, thank you everybody for staying safe and for all your work to make sure that the water drained off of these cages as quickly as possible so that we are back to normal, thankfully. Stay cool, cats. Mwah!